This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. And by Lee Health.
Southwest Florida, you're looking live at a spectacle of huge proportion. This is the Unity in the Community basketball game put on by Jay Style of Star 95 FM, the People Station, and the Stars Complex in the city of Fort Myers. We're right here in Dunbar, and all types of celebrities have come out to participate, as well as NFL football players and law enforcement officers. We have a keynote speaker here today from Chicago, an outstanding man in his own right. We're lucky to be able to pull him over here to the TV show and the radio show. He's got a book here as well. He'll be a motivational speaker. The book is called A Breeze Apart, and we'll get to learn more about that from Victor Woods as well. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live, Victor.
Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
All the way down from Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, baby.
How you like this music? I mean, this weather.
Man, I love it. It's 30 degrees in Chicago. I'm loving it. Before I got here, I was on South Beach for a week, so I'm loving Florida. Florida. Love this show too.
So that you'll know, this is a cold front for us. We freezing, man.
Yeah.
You heard
I used to live in Sarasota, so I'm familiar.
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's keep that mic up a little higher. You have led an interesting life, which we're going to get into that a bit as we talk about the book a bit. But first, let's get into the localizing you, the fact that you've been brought here as a motivational speaker.
Absolutely.
Tell us that process, how we got in touch with you.
Well, Jerry Ware, who's a community activist here, I know you know her.
She's been on the show numerous times.
Oh, no question. She's fantastic. And I was introduced to the chief of police and the mayor, and they saw me speak at several of the schools. So I was at the Varsity High School Thursday night talking to parents. I was at the alternative school yesterday, and I'm here, delighted to be here. So they just brought me down here to uplift people and to help people make the right decisions. I went to prison twice, turned my life around, and what we don't want is some of these young people to go down the road I went down. Now I'm published at Simon & Schuster, and my book's being turned into a movie, so I've used my life to help others.
What kind of message you going to try to get across today in your speech?
With all the things that we have going wrong in this country right now, just in Broward County, we had 15 kids killed in a school. There's something right happening in Fort Myers. You're here. We got a mayor that shows up. We've got a police chief that shows up. So these are some of the things that I'm going to talk about. We've got parents that have showed up. We've got community members here that have showed up. We've got football players who've come back from the NFL to show up. So this is great.
But before you talk about all that, you got to talk about them clothes you wear. Let's get a pan up and down on these threads.
Oh, man, come on, man.
Come on,
look at you. Put it on him. Look at him.
Look how clean he is.
Man,
look how clean he is.
Man, I knew I was coming on this show. I had to be clean. What do you expect me to do?
Chi-Town Gators. Got on a shark skin suit.
Well,
hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. But that's all it look like.
We do what we can. We do what we do when we can do what we do. So I knew I was going to be on TV. I can't be over here front. I got to be,
Now, you mentioned
Thank you for that.
Let me give you a flow. You mentioned that you're going to have this book that's going to be turned into a movie.
Yeah, you can get that anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. Published by the biggest publishing company in the world, Simon & Schuster. Bernie Mac pushed this book. United States Ambassador Andrew Young wrote the foreword for it. Shaka Khan plugged this, and Ilyasah Shabazz, and the Vice President of Sony Music. I've been blessed.
You've been blessed. Who's going to play you in the movie we don't know yet?
Well, they're talking about Drake possibly playing me or Sean Combs' son, Quincy, Albie Shore's kid.
But they got to be handsome.
Oh, they got to be good looking to play me. No question about it.
Hey, let's let people learn something about this book. They can just Google A Breeze Apart by Victor Woods. It's all out there in order.
A Breeze Apart.
What made you worthy of a book? You had a dark past that you turned into a positive.
My mother went to Spelman College. Father went to Morehouse College. She was a school teacher, and I got into a lot of trouble. I always tell people I was like Dennis the Menace, the Omen, and Ferris Bueller all mixed up. But I ended up going, had a huge armed robbery ring in Chicago, went to state prison, didn't turn around there, went to federal prison for making $40 million worth of Visa Gold cards. Secret Service offered me 5 years probation, and I said I'd rather go to prison than tell on my family and friends. And so the book is centered around, it's called A Breed Apart because my lawyer said I'm a breed apart because I wouldn't tell on anybody.
Wow.
So while I was in prison in solitary confinement, I decided to turn my life around, and the rest is history.
What happened in prison? What specifically? Did you read something, or I just went?
Just
sitting there
they always ask people, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you'll change the condition of your life. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So in solitary confinement, I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to change and do something different. Wasn't easy. Took me 20 years to get a movie deal. Took me 10 years to get my book published at Simon & Schuster. But you never give up. It's not where you start. It's where you finish.
Talk about peer pressure, particularly for the youth, the importance of avoiding peer pressure and staying on the straight and narrow.
I don't think there's ever been a harder time in this country to be a young person ever. With all the temptations, social media, cell phones, and particularly for young black boys and girls, it's rough to be a young black boy, but it doesn't mean you can't make it. So decisions are very pertinent. You've got to make the right decisions about doing the right things if you're going to make it. And so it's imperative that we teach our children how to think for themselves. So it's not always the child. Everybody doesn't fit in at school, but you've got to make the right decisions. We've got more young black men in prison than we do in college. And so we're losing this battle. So people like you that have a television show, take the time to come in here and magnify something that's right. It takes more than the school. It takes people like you, the mayor, city council, parents, clergy, everybody to come together. And this event is just fantastic in the way it's brought everybody together.
Is it fair to say from your travels around the world and the country that we should not take something like this for granted? To be able to have this harmony here, to have these types of events, this is something we shouldn't take for granted.
We spend a lot of time talking about what doesn't work, who's not doing what athletes aren't giving back, what the mayor's office isn't doing, what the chief of police isn't doing. This is an example here in this city about what's being done right. The mayor has showed up. He's here with the basketball players, with the community. The police chief is here. You're here. This is something that should be magnified all over the country. They definitely need this in Chicago, where I'm from, and we don't have this kind of leadership there.
Chi-Town in the house.
Chi-Town, baby.
Hey, man. Well, we're so thrilled to have you here.
Man, I'm thrilled to be here.
And,
thank you for having me on.
And we want to encourage everybody again to our keynote speaker. He's got a forward here. Chaka Khan said, an emotional journey grips you from the very first chapter. Chaka Khan, Lady of Soul, endorses this book.
If you got somebody in your family that's in prison, somebody who's going through something, somebody who needs to be uplifted, every step of the way someone laughed at me and told me I wouldn't be successful. Never, ever, ever give up. Nobody can stop you if you believe in yourself. There's nothing more powerful than a person who knows where they're going and has the courage and guts to get there.
We're going to have our fine cameraman pan over to the basketball game slowly. That's Zion. And I want to encourage everybody to get this book also and let you know that a basketball game is going on right behind us. And at halftime, we're going to get a chance to hear this dynamic speaker do his thing right here at the Stars Complex in Dunbar, in Fort Myers, Florida, southwest coast of Florida.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.